All right, welcome everyone. We're Semblance of Sanity. I'm Caleb.
I'm Jacob.
And we're here for
Space Brothers, episode 2. This was a great start.
Great start.
And now you're going to become an astronaut. You're going to go to Mars, god damn it.
Yes.
So,
yes.
Let's do this.
Nothing can stop you. You're just going to be all... Sorry. But yes, we are going to be leapfrogging all the way to Mars. That's the whole goal of the story. We have a nice episode 1 kind of milestone set far ahead. Far ahead.
Maybe we'll find out that, that was actually a UFO and aliens exist. But
again,
maybe not.
UFO doesn't mean aliens. So that just,
yes.
So unidentified flying objects, still can be, a thing.
Right.
But not aliens, no. Because we're here for space and brothers. This isn't Alien Brothers, Yeah.
But it could be. Who's to say? Because this is a long show. So we'll just have to see where it goes.
And it is technically a sci-fi because it's 2025.
Yeah.
Ooh, the future. So, y'all, without further ado, let's get into this.
という大きな夢。果たして今の私に叶えられるのか。
私が出したのよ。
Ah!
All right, let's get this OP.
UFO を見た日、その場で兄と約束をしたんです。
お兄さんと？どんな？
一緒に宇宙飛行士になろうってね。
ああ、ロマンチックで。
Oh.
当初メーカーにいた人か。すごいね。うちは歓迎だけど。
ありがとうございます。
Ah. Well. Struck out again.
お前の気持ちは正直すげえ嬉しかったけど、このまま行くと兄貴の俺がお前に引っ張られることになる。
Wait, what's the issue? You were accepted.
いらっしゃいムッタ。今日は一人？
日々とはまだ家で勉強だよ。
月見えた？今日は田村さんが合わせてくれたわ。
Oh, cool. Got an observatory.
I wonder if, though, the thing about his brother still studying is maybe what ended up causing the difference.
Maybe. He's still a kid, though.
Yeah.
おー、まぶしい。
Dang, that is a powerful telescope.
Yeah.
Oh, no, here she is again.
おばちゃん、来たよ。
Dang.
Wow.
Dang, environmentally wise, he had a great,
Oh, yeah.
Very lucky.
が来るっていうから合わせといたのよ。
おばちゃん。
いらっしゃいムッタ。今日は一人？
ああ、日々とは NASA で訓練中だよ。
Just like before, yeah.
通ったの1225人中ね、315人だって。
すごいじゃない。それに通るなんて。
いや、俺は何もしてないんだけどね。
ムッタの実力なら通るってわか。
Right, but it's that next step, so you're one of 315, so what does that mean?
Right, that's a big cut, but yeah, there's still a lot more to do.
受けないんだよ。
Oh.
どうして？
Why not? Yeah.
こうサラサラっとね、ふるい落とされるって。残りの315人中から2人か3人。
Oh my god.
Yeah.
That's ridiculous.
セッションしてみようか。
もう忘れちゃったよ。
Let me pull out your instrument then.
にそう聞いたら全部って言って片っ端から音を鳴らしていたの覚えている？1時間かけて。それであなたその中でトランペットを選んだのよ。
Oh.
この中で一番音が出にくい。
昔のあなたってそんな子だったのよ。
Yeah, you sought out the difficult thing, yeah.
Right.
今のあなたにとって一番金ピカなことは何？
今の。
Yeah, pull this out of him. Come on.
トランペットを持って音を出して。うまくなくてもいいし間違ってもいいのよムッタ。
Right.
まずは音を出して。
Gotta do something.
始まらないのよ。
Right, right.
病んだ時とかいつも一人でここに来てましたもんね。日々とさんは全くそんなことなかったけど
ムッタは何でもできるすごい兄貴になりたかったのよ。いつの間にか日々との前で失敗すること。
Oh.
Sure.
なんだけど、かなり古い方ですね。新人君、君できるこれ。
Easy. Man is overqualified.
Yeah.
早い。ありがとうございます。いえいえ、速さがうちの売りです。
ま、今はこんなもんだ。今はね。
For now. Yeah. Oh, he didn't forget back then. Whoa. He
Okay.
knows what he would need to do. Yeah.
Yeah.
ヒビトに負けたくないからね。 ヒビトより先につけに行って。
I love the idea of us constantly flashing back to see relevant stuff as to why he didn't end up going that way, and Hibito did.
忘れたふりを続けていたせいか、本当に自分の大事な気持ちを忘れていた。
Wow.
シャロンおばちゃん、俺は宇宙へ行きたい。
Yeah.
あっという間に筆記試験の日が来た。
For the first exam, just one.
その時からシャロンおばちゃんの下で英語を学んだ私に、これ式の英語問題など。
From when you were a kid? No.
常識問題ばかりで来るかジャクさ。完全に山外した。
Oh shit.
下、こっち。
こっちってどっちですか？
Yeah.
右です、おそらく。
おそらくとかやめてください。
二次試験に進めますように。
And he doesn't. But will you try again?
牛肉 72.5% 使用。新発売。ボンカリー。
タイマ
オケリー。
I love the way she says it.
Yeah.
そうだむっちゃん。ジャクサからなんか来てたよ。合格通知？
母ちゃん、まずそれ言えよ。
Ah, yeah. She's just
Please try again
nonchalant,
next
just
year,
numbing
you know.
snacks. Yeah.
あらら。
No
Wait.
way. No way.
どこ行くの？ムッタ。ついでに牛。
Come to the second exam. It's
Right,
today,
right.
you know? No way.
No way.
You can't do this. Let us know. What happened?
Come on.
I failed. He just jumps in the river.
I'll bet it's something where they're like, you go.
Yeah.
ケーキ買ってこなきゃ。
何の曲？そう。
Yeah.
メロディーなきメロディーを奏で、道なき道へ行こう。
Right.
Okay.
And now the proper trumpet in the background. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Ah.
ああ、大丈夫だって。ちゃんと着いたよ、ジャクさん。
Yeah, you did. You did.
今トイレだから。
もうすぐ二次試験ね。
Yeah, that's what it was.
ねえねえ。
Next exam. Cool.
Of course I'm nervous. Don't make it worse.
さつ技教えてあげようか。
もういいから。ありがとう母ちゃん。
手のひらに人っていう字を100回くらい書くとね、
God.
手がくすぐって。
Are you kidding me? Bro! Bro! No! No! This is 2025! You lose your smartphone like this!
私を含めて今残っている受験者は45
That's
人。
really good.
You survived the first big cut.
8人に絞られちゃうの
Oh
だ。
my god.
11番難波さん面接室
Oh, and it's in an interview format. Gotcha.
B11 番何番ムッタです。よろしくお願いします。
Set up straight. Set up straight. Oh my
Oh,
god.
shit.
It's like 9 people.
Hey, but this is good. You did good to get here.
His right arm is listless.
もしかして
はい。
難波日比と飛行士のご親戚か
Yes, actually.
はい。日々とは私の弟です。
ああそうなんだ
実は弟をあそこまで育てたのは私と言っても
Uh-oh, don't over promise.
ではいくつか
Yeah, whatever. Okay,
Yeah.
moving on.
I mean, hey, I can appreciate the by any means necessary, you know, take whatever you can get.
Yeah. God, the stress.
ありがとうございました。それでは失礼します。
He has gray hairs as he comes
Yeah,
out. You know?
yeah. Wrinkles under his eyes.
Just slides down the wall.
悪い癖が出てしまった。
No.
変なやつだと思われてしまったら
Which bad habit? Like,
中ある小さな雑念が私を捉え邪魔し続けた。そのせいで私は全然面接に集中でき
ah, sure.
椅子のネジがゆるゆるだったのだ。ありえねえよ。JAXA だぞここ。
Oh.
その最先端にありながら椅子のネジがゆるいなんて。私はずっと変な姿勢だったと思う。
Yeah.
Maybe this is something where they're like, no, you won't end up being an astronaut, but we'll bring you on as an engineer kind of a thing.
Well, I mean,
人生なんて
sure, but
ネジ一個で狂っちまうんだな。指と
get a nice calm bit of miso, rice, and fish. Yeah.
生ですよね。見たところ同学年かな。31くらいですか。
いいかに
Yeah.
現生の真壁健二です。
Okay.
これから1週間頑張っていきましょう。
All right.
ナンバームッタです。
よろしく。
レトロな髪型の割になんて爽やかな。
He looks like he's pretending to be a politician, you know?
Right, right.
学年なんていうあたり、
Right.
まだまだ青春してやがるな。いい髪型して。
He looks like he belongs in Ace Attorney.
でお兄さんなの？ナンバー日比との。
そう似てないけどね。彼真壁健二君とは仲良くやっていけそうだ。
ムックン、お茶飲む？
Calling him Moo! First name basis, yeah.
ムックン、見たところ26。
ああ
Good at guessing ages?
Yeah.
Oh! Doki, doki.
あんな綺麗な人も宇宙飛行士を目指す。
You want to be an astronaut? I want to be an astronaut too.
どうしました星川さん。
Oh, no way.
ちょっと遊び半分で椅子に少し細工しといたんです。
細工？
この椅子わざと片側の
What?
2つくんですよ。この小さな違和感に気づく受験者はいるかなと思いまして。
Wow.
気づきましたが、その後別に気にも留めない様子でした。2人目は気づいた時思わず笑ってしまい、笑った自分に驚いてました。そしてもう一人はネジを締めようと必死に手を伸ばしていました。実際ちょっと締まってました。
それって単に面接に集中できない人たちなんじゃ。
まあそうとも取れます。
Oh my god, yes!
僕が初めてここで面接を受けた時、同じことをされたんです。
Really?
Oh! Wait,
By this guy?
by Mori! Yeah! Holy shit!
That's awesome.
かけてみますか？その3人が残るかどうか。
Nice. Cool. I like that that's not the deciding factor. It's just
No, no,
something
no.
that makes some of the people there take interest.
Yeah.
Like, if that had been the deciding factor, it's like, what the fuck?
That just sounds stupid. Yeah. But I mean, that's the kind of things people do in interviews, where
Sure.
they basically throw a whole bunch of shit at you, and there's like 3 things that they're actually really wanting to make sure you nail.
It's the, okay, I understand you're going to be on best behavior and all that stuff, but like...
We're going to rattle you.
Yeah,
We're just going to rattle you and then be like, how do you handle these things? You know? Because you're going to be in stressful situations. We need you to be able to remain calm and focus on the main thing here, you know?
Okay.
Yeah.
You're doing good, Muta.
Doing good. You made it through one interview. Second one seems to be going very well.
Yep.
You have also been given, from the meta perspective, a pair of characters with which we can follow. So now it seems pretty certain you're going to make it through, because if we're going to spend time introducing these characters, yeah, you're going to make it through.
Yep.
Or at the very least, you know, you'll all fail, but you'll try again the next time or something like that.
And I like that these
encourage each
characters
other.
were introduced because, given that the brother is already an astronaut, you know, having that extra person that can basically be alongside Muta as he struggles, I think that's really going to be really helpful.
Yeah.
I liked that we got this Aunt Sharon character also as the, hey, someone else that both encouraged them and also probably helped them a lot with like the, oh, yeah, you can come over to my place and I'll teach you English and different instruments. And also, I have a full-on observatory, you know, where you can, like,
just casually look at the moon and everything and just stoke your imagination even more.
Yep, exactly.
Holy shit.
Like, wow.
She's loaded.
Yeah. That was like, oh. Like, and it's not like they, because I was thinking it's like, oh, and then they go to an observatory. No, this is like her house.
In her house.
Like, God damn. Like, holy shit. I would not be surprised, though, if it was, you know, the way they found Aunt Sharon was something along the lines of, did you hear that there's a really rich person who has a full-on observatory? Oh my God, that would be so cool.
There was a little bit of the way in which they were talking about Aunt Sharon in the Japanese that made it sound like she wasn't actually necessarily related to them.
Yeah, I fully believe it's the, you know, oh, this person is a close friend, and so we call them aunt or uncle or whatever, but they're not actually family.
I don't even think they said the Japanese word for aunt at any point in the actual thing there.
Yeah.
All I heard was like, Oba-chan.
Yeah, that sounds about right. Yep.
Yeah. So, who knows? But either way, it's fun to have a character that can be in the older side of things that remembers them from when they were kids, and you can meet up with them again when they're adults. Muta is confirmed to be 31 here, which we knew because of when he was born and stuff like that. But basically, okay, he's hit that kind of past his young adult kind of era here. Right. He's still in that youthful age, but he's he's a decade or plus into adulthood.
Oh, yeah.
So
I imagine he's probably... Now, granted, there's the other dude, Makabe Kenji, who is also 31. So I could be wrong about this, but I would not be surprised if he were one of the oldest applicants to become an astronaut, because, you know, that's going to be a very physically taxing endeavor and, you know...
physically demanding.
Yeah.
So I would say you'd still see NASA and JAXA applicants that are in their mid-30s, I would say, but you're right in that they would be less common.
Right, because there's obviously there's a ton of school that you'd need to do in order to be able to understand all the stuff that you need to know.
I would guess you would never see one younger than, like...
25.
Well, yeah, maybe like 23.
Yeah.
But that being said, you never know. You never know. Yep. There are geniuses out there. There are also, you know, older people and stuff as well that are like freaking also geniuses as well, and maybe have, you know, the physical capacity to do all that stuff as well. But we are still in the 40 plus, kind of group of applicants here, which I love that they broke it down that, okay, even if we make it through this, then there's another exam
where
which
it's
is
down to 8.
Down to 8. But then they still cut over half of them.
Right. But I love the pressure that we got of the, okay, I was one of, 300 plus, right?
That's great.
That's great. You know, I made the 25%, kind of a thing. But then it's the, no. Then once you make it past that next one and it's okay, now there's just 40 plus, it's we are interviewing you, and they're
we have a whole assembly of 8 people plus someone on the side there being like, all right, we're just gonna sit here and just take turns scrutinizing you, throwing questions your way, throwing all kinds of things your way.
The pressure for that was fantastic, of just both oh, this is great, I'm actually doing well, and oh my god,
Yeah, I know that in the corporate world, people will get interviews in very rapid succession, but even if you make it through the beginning process and stuff, they'll throw all kinds of people at you in interviews to just test you and just see also whether or not they like you. There's all kinds of things that come into that when it becomes a personal connection thing, not just the cold hard results on a sheet of paper.
Do you have the acumen and the education in order to do the stuff we want, but could you actually work in a team and take instruction and criticism and
communication, all kinds of stuff there. There's a lot to that. And so at the scientific level where you're dealing in the final frontier, we need to really, really test all these things here before we even get you to that point where you would then be in the program at all.
Right, the people who have made it this far, I'm sure, are all technically capable.
Yes.
Absolutely. And that's why they're getting to the point where they have interviews, and then it's okay, what are those other things? Because that's where you're getting into the really, really specific. It's not the, percentage points. It's
We're looking at personality quirks and the way that you handle sitting in a chair with a screw or two that's loose.
Right.
I love that as being hey, I'm just doing this to try and,
just an old bit of hazing,
through people a little bit.
Yeah.
And I like that most of the people in the group and stuff didn't actually make a point of noticing it. The idea that if you're going to be in a billions and billions of dollars of worth of spacecraft or what have you, and you're going to notice something that gives you that little bit of a tick that makes you go wait, I need to look at that. Maybe
I could absolutely see that being something where it's oh sure, and whether or not the people in the spacecraft have have as much of a handle and
agency in that regard.
How it's built and things like that.
No. More just being able to pass that on to control.
Yeah, exactly.
And be hey, by the way,
when you're the only one that's up there with that spacecraft,
you need an eye for detail.
You need an eye for detail. That totally makes sense. Yeah, and the idea that it's also a connection point to his hero Mori, I really like that, both from a there is something to what this guy's doing, given that he is not an astronaut, right? But they are helping vet, people to become astronauts. But then also the connection point to, oh, hey, yeah, you are already getting a lot closer to, the footsteps, or you are also following in the footsteps of your hero, right? And so, good job, right? You're making that progress, even if you still have a long way to go.
Right. But Mori being a character that's brought up this many times also gives me the vibe that he's probably one of the very few Japanese astronauts that ended up working very closely with NASA and actually went pretty far in his career as an astronaut. Even though Hibito is going to be the first one to go and land on the moon, Mori was probably one of the bigger more influential astronauts with regards to maybe managing and representing Japan on the International Space Station, for instance.
Sure.
And so I like the idea that Japan being a smaller country in the broader scheme of things on the global scale of space travel and stuff like that, and space, work in that regard. Having them have a person that means this much to many different people is fun, because then that adds extra meaning to what Hibito and potentially Muda will end up becoming as the series continues. So
yeah,
very, very fun stuff. Rather simple episode, gave us very kind of meager pacing as far as things went. The latter half of the episode screamed by, though, a lot faster.
Yes.
Kenji has a nice kind of Boy Scout kind of feel to him. Very, okay, I'm going to do the thing and I'm going to make friends and be charismatic and stuff and have
also
my little Elvis cut and all that. And then the fact that his thing is like guessing people's ages correctly, I think that's going to be correct with the girl that they're introducing here.
I think so.
But given that she's potentially 26, she's probably ridiculously smart then, because she's had less time to then get her higher education in by that point. So I'm excited to see what her skills will end up being.
Right, because if Muta's situation is, oh, I basically was not on the track and now I'm getting back to the track that I wanted to be on.
Right.
Okay, that makes sense why he's 31. With Kenji, he seems like the kind of guy where maybe it's just he's so particular about crossing T's and dotting I's maybe that it's just like...
Yeah, he's a good study.
Yeah, he's a good study. And maybe it just took him a lot longer, but he's, really thorough or something like that.
I'm guessing none of these characters are particularly like dumb or anything. I'm just meaning that he seems more like the type of person who's a proper leader and communicator and has a lot of good confidence in him.
Sure.
But he's probably also a little quirky in that regard.
Yeah.
Whereas with her thing seems to be that she's very much in her own head, which generally seems to come from people that are also ridiculously intelligent.
Yeah, she very much gives the vibe to me of like somebody that doesn't have as much life experience, but has like, because of course younger, but like could have like, I just finished up my doctorate and now I'm coming here to, do this thing, right?
Right, that I started at, 16 or something.
Yeah, exactly. Right. Yeah.
Yeah, I also would love to see, like, what was the thing of her characterization of, she seems surprised that she was laughing. The idea that she has a disconnect between her inner world and her outer world, where she's like, I'm laughing. Ha, ha, ha. Oh, wow.
Right.
Like that kind of stuff is fun. So learning the ins and outs of these characters rather quickly is nice. Even if we don't have definitive explanations for them, having little hints of them is fun. Because I very much can smell these are our long-term characters here.
Uh-huh.
There's a little bit of extra legwork that the show has to go through at this point because we've only introduced effectively Hibito and Muta, and then of course surrounding family. So any new characters that come up, kind of for the sake of efficiency, have to be important characters. So.
Right. Yes, that'd be a bit rough. If it's like, all right, here's these characters and maybe this could work.
No, they don't make it. Just you, Muta. Yeah.
Right. Like especially with the pace that the show is taking through the elimination process, basically. I don't see that happening. If it had gone for more of like an arc structure, they could have totally done that.
I'm so glad they did not.
But I am glad that they didn't.
Now there's so many more interesting things to get at here. I don't need to know about the application process of those kinds of things there. I can just do a Google search if I want to find out what does it actually take to become an astronaut from the exam process here. Well, here's an example of a test that was taken, 10 years ago or something.
Yeah, like the most that we're getting told is like, oh, he goes in expecting that he would be good with the English that he learned from, Aunt Sharon and all that stuff. And then it's like, oh, no. Think about this. If you're going to be like theoretically eventually working with NASA quite closely, you'd probably want to have very good conversational level English so that maybe when you're coordinating with other astronauts about stuff, that doesn't become a problem.
Which is funny because that's probably the easiest part of the exams.
I would imagine so.
Is that it's hey, this is another language. Learn this language up to probably about a 5th grade level. Mm-hmm. Probably, I would say. And then once you've got that, you're set. Like you're good.
Yeah.
Like most conversational English is not that technical.
Right, yeah. And learning the technical terms, I'm sure for an engineer, that wouldn't be that difficult.
No, because you don't need to necessarily speak them. You just need to be able to read them.
But also, you learned the technical terms to the competency of a high-level engineer. So, you can do it again, right? Like, that's fine.
Yeah.
Like,
easy.
Yeah.
But I would love to know how you then go from this to 8 and then 8 to 2 or 3. Because if they are cutting such a dramatic percentage off those other ones there, but then they leave you with 8 to then cut, in some ways, a much smaller percentage out, what's the kind of stuff that ends up coming from there?
I imagine it being something where it'll be like, okay, once we get you down to 8, you will all go through astronaut training. And then we'll basically just take the 3 that do the best. You know,
we'll put you in suits in zero gravity, put you into 10G environments.
Right, like there's going to be a lot of shit that you're going to have to deal with. Ideally, all of you will get to the point where you could become astronauts, but
and then everybody else is going to go on to reserve or what have you, just in case.
Yeah, exactly. Right.
Later.
If God forbid some accident happens and a ship explodes, right? Like, you'll be the people that will call, right?
Right.
But
awesome. The very, very fun, kind of continuing that lighthearted tone for this episode here. But also a lot of flashbacks to focus on the way in which Muta did actively forget his own dream.
Mm-hmm.
But during that time, he had a very tight grip on it.
Yeah.
There was something that has not been revealed right now that instigated a point with which he started to actively choose to forget it. And we have not been revealed what that is yet.
We haven't. But I do like that was established, that I feel like I can pinpoint times in my own life when that happened.
When that kind of thing happened.
Yeah, where it's like the
same.
Oh, right. Mm-hmm. Life's hard, and I need to properly set my expectations and things like that. And maybe if I'm governed by a lot of shoulds and outcome-based thinking, that's actually not helpful.
No.
But then maybe when you get rid of that unhealthy thinking, that the actions stop being taken, or things like that. So I like that. That feels like a very good choice for you have a man in his 30s that's trying to revisit the dream. Mm-hmm. What are some of the things that he might have to deal with?
Yeah, I could see a lot of that happening, because when people in their younger years get kind of the fire lit under them for doing a certain thing, it can be through an unhealthy means. A classic example of this that I found is in the sports dynamic. A lot of the things that lights a fire under someone like me was the idea of competition. Mm-hmm. The idea of just basically just being the best and just destroying anybody that, could come against me in the sport of my choosing, basically.
Yeah.
And in a lot of ways, competition and self-improvement tied with that can be great when you compete with yourself and you turn that out into just growing and just grabbing and absorbing knowledge so that you can then see your stats go up,
Right.
But it's really not helpful in a group, cooperative and collaborative environment where you actually are trying to beat other people, and then you end up not communicating, not collaborating, not actually trying to help other people in your team improve, and you're just looking out for yourself. And that can just end up killing then your passion for the sport or something if you realize, that's not actually that helpful. And then you're like, wait, do I actually even want to do that anymore? Because your whole desire was built around the idea of that competition, for instance.
Yeah.
That happened to me a little bit when I realized that I was actually really bad physically for the sport that I was in. And that in a lot of ways, my muscle development was so lax at the time that I needed to basically I needed to bulk up. I needed to become a lot bigger if I wanted to be remotely competitive in that sport.
Sure.
Otherwise, I would just end up being a bottom the barrel bench sitting, kind of.
That's where I was for that sport.
Yeah. And so it's just you can end up getting the passion killed if you don't have a good foundation to build up on it. But all right, y'all, thank you so much for watching this episode's reaction and discussion. If you want to see the next episode's reaction and discussion right now, though, go check out the link in the description below for our Patreon. You can get on early access there. You can watch full-length timer reactions there, and all this comes with Discord access, so you can chat with us in the community there about this show, about anime in general, and also be sure to check out our Twitch channel. So if any of that interests you, we'll see you there. But until then, we're Semblance of Sanity. I'm Caleb.
I'm Jacob.
And we'll see you all next time.